Okay, this is like my third time trying to record this video, so y'all just stick with me here. I promise you I'm gonna get it right this time. All right. So the media has an impact on pretty much everyone, and I, primarily want to talk about how it impacts men today. And one character that I want to talk about in particular is Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. Now, I want to preface this by saying I have never made a video like this before. Usually, I literally get on my close friend stories and just spitball off the top of my head whatever comes to my mind. Like I wrote a whole script for this one. That's not to say that I'm going to go by the whole entire script the whole time. Like I'm not just gonna sit here and read the script. I'm gonna talk to y'all. But it's just like a backbone, for structure to make sure I touch on everything I want to touch on. Now, when it comes to anime shows in particular, but I'm talking about anime right now, I see men, they tend to cling to the characters who are considered strong, or the stronger characters in the show. And a good example of this is Gojo from JJK. And I think that he is a nicely written character. However, his fanboys only like him for the fact that he is strong, without taking into account what that means for his character, or what the story is trying to say, or why he is strong. They just simply like the fact that he is strong. And we see something similar in Eren Yeager. However, I think is to a much worse degree. Now, I've openly expressed my dislike for Eren Yeager. I actually recently did it. I posted on my story on Instagram. I was like, I don't rock with Eren Yeager. So I don't know why, but for some reason I felt like I really just wanted to explain why, and really touch on the fact that my problem isn't necessarily with his character, is more or less with his fanboys who don't understand what his character is and what it represents, right? So Attack on Titan is a story where basically, to keep it simple, these giant humanoid creatures come through and they eat humans. And so the last bit of humanity is, they put walls up to protect themselves. Now, I'm going to try to do this video without spoiling as much as I can, just in case anybody might want to watch it. Eren is a very traumatized character. Like, at the beginning, he literally watches his mom get eaten by Titan. And from then on, he vows to destroy all Titans, and he wants to be free and go beyond the walls and all that good stuff. And that's 100% valid. I understand that 100%. You want to destroy all the Titans and you want to be free from being behind these walls. You want to be free. I get that 100%. But very quickly we see that Eren isn't the best soldier. He joins the Survey Corps and he is a little lackluster, to be honest. He's not like Mikasa, who is basically a super soldier. Like, if you've seen Attack on Titan, Eren is basically like any other member of the Survey Corps. Some may argue even worse, a little behind the curve. Now, a little bit later, he gets the power to transform into a Titan and combat the Titans. So now he stumbles upon power. And what do you think he does with this power? I'll give you a second to guess if you haven't seen Attack on Titan. All right, time's up. He then goes on to kill 80% of the world's population. Now, there's more things that go, into that with the whole Marlians and, how the Marlians basically was sending Titans over. It's a lot more to go into it. But I'm not gonna get too deep into it. Like I said, I don't want to spoil. I just want to focus on Eren and his character in particular. And I don't understand why his fanboys basically glorify his behavior, his actions, because Eren becomes this cool, calm, collected guy, right? Basically an edgelord. And these dudes see that and they love it. That's what they want to be. That's what they aspire to be. They aspire to randomly get power and all their problems will be solved. They'll be just as cool as Eren, right? They'll have everything they ever wanted. But what they don't understand is Eren was so angry and rage-filled that he gave up everything and everyone he ever loved. And this is not a triumphant story. Like, we're not supposed to root for Eren. It's a cautionary tale on what not to be like, right? And Eren does terrible, terrible things under the guise of true freedom, right? And people eat it up. They say he had no choice, or he did what he had to do, or Eren did nothing wrong. Actually, in fact, upon telling my roommate that I was going to record this video, his first reaction was, Eren did nothing wrong, right? And I'm like, yeah, you the type of dude I'm talking about in this video I'm gonna make. And so basically, this man Eren is nothing but a glorified man-child who happened to stumble upon power, right? And he has so much anger and hatred inside of him that he's just lashing out at everyone. And in the end, right, when he's in the middle of achieving his goal and, you know, everybody's being wiped out, he breaks down and starts crying. He starts crying about Mikasa and saying he doesn't even understand why he did what he did, right? And, you know, people say that it was out of character for him, right? And they say that they didn't like the choice for his character. I'll maybe edit the video, put the panel up somewhere. I'll put my hand up because probably where I'm gonna put the panel, I don't even know. But they say it was out of character and they disliked it. But what they fail to recognize is Eren has been the same character since the beginning. He never grew from that little boy filled with rage and anger. He's been the exact same, and that's why we see him revert back to a child and begin to break down and cry, because Eren was never some cool, calculated guy. He was just a little boy who had power and is lashing out at everyone and everything around him. And the reason I have an issue with this is the fact that he wins in the end, because now it paints the picture of, to these dudes who agree with Eren or want to be like Eren, that taking the same actions that he did will lead them to victory. They will achieve their goals like Eren did by taking the same actions, by pushing everybody away, by being an a-hole, you know? And I couldn't agree less with that sentiment, right? And there's nothing wrong with a revenge-focused story or a revenge-focused character, right? Like Sasuke, for example. My friends know I'm a Sasuke defender. Actually, they make fun of me for that. But Sasuke has so much hate in his heart, and all he cared about was revenge. But there were, at certain points, he was able to reflect about what he was doing and where he was going. And he was able to reform from that, right? Eren never had that. And in the end, he succeeds. And it just creates a narrative of, you know, these men who think he's so cool and want to be like him, that if we are like him, we will succeed. Which that's not further from the truth. At the end, he reverts back to a child. He doesn't even know why he did what he did. He has nothing left. He dies alone. He has nothing. He's not happy. Eren obtains all this power, and despite having that, he never even gets the one thing that he wanted, which was to be free. He never even gets it. And he's a character that is solely defined by his trauma and pain. He makes decisions solely off that, right? And a character that I honestly didn't want to talk about too much, but, you know, I kind of want to bring up is Guts from Berserk. Now, if you know Berserk and I just brought up Guts, you're like, whoa now. Now, I'm not making this a trauma contest, but Guts has been through some stuff, right? But he changes and reforms over the story. He goes from somebody who is solely driven by rage and hatred to a more kind and compassionate person, right? And these characters, they still fight. They're still cool, right? They're just fighting for a different reason. And I think that a lot of men, they view Eren and they love it because they like using those same excuses to lash out at the world. Oh, I had no choice. Or the world struck first, right? And I think that's a problem. And to anybody who's watching this, any man, I just want you to know that that is not the solution to your problems. Power is not the solution, right? You can achieve your goals through other means. And I want you to know that you are loved and cared for. And you don't have to be angry all the time. You don't have to lash out at the world. You know, you can be better and you can do better. You can be stronger than Eren was and make a better choice. Because at the end of the day, Eren was just too weak of a man to make a better choice. And that is all.